For my Exploring Leadership vlog, we were tasked with the job of finding someone who is an influential leader to us and kind of asking them questions about their title of leadership and who they kind of are as a leader. And the real purpose of this assignment was to give kind of freshman Scott scholars an opportunity to kind of learn from different experiences of leaders and kind of gain insights into different styles of leadership and different strategies and so forth. So for this project, I actually picked my team lead from the UNO Summer Design Studio, Josephine Parker. And Josie Parker is a senior at Hastings College, and she was actually a part of the Summer Design Studio internship along with me and four other people. Well, I guess that's a whole nother 30 people, but in our group, the Valentine, Nebraska group, it was us two and three other people. And Josie worked as a team lead for this group, and it was kind of an important way to understand that this was the perfect role for her. I think as a team, we could all collectively tell you that Josie was kind of like the lifeblood of our group. She definitely had a way with words, and she was very understanding, but she also brought us a lot closer together by herself. Um, she was kind of like a very influential part of our team, not only as a team lead, but she was very well spoken. She also allowed for us to kind of become friends before actually co-workers together. And that was a very important part of this internship because it kind of moved us past the idea of, okay, we're just here for 10 months or 10 weeks and to get something done. But it was kind of like, and enjoy your time there, like understand why you're doing this and understand that, we're all just friends trying to get along and trying to just finish a project. And the project, the internship definitely reflected that. You can see that with, I think, the hundreds of videos and pictures that are filled with my camera roll right now. But yeah, so Josie Parker is currently creating her, or not creating, she created her own community development major at Hastings College, and I think that was really the inspiration for this leadership role during the studio internship. Um, the whole purpose of the Valentine team was kind of just figure out how we can make Valentine one of the most family friendly cities in Nebraska, while also kind of just figuring out how we can keep young people in Valentine and keep them interested in what Valentine has to offer. And, that ideal kind of just fits perfectly with her community development major. So I think that was a really influential part of why she got this role and especially why she excelled at that role at the same time because not only was it just a role that she was given but it was also something that she was passionate about, so she fit right in. But at the same time, that internship also brought some challenges and obstacles, but some major challenges and obstacles that Josie said that she stated or that she had. A lot of that came kind of before the internship, where she said she kind of had a major imposter syndrome, where she didn't really feel like she had the space to lead, and she didn't have that perfect ACT score, which she thought kind of meant everything. But this was especially before college, but she stated herself that the internship had done a really good job of just understanding that she really did have that space to lead. And I think every single one of us on the Valentine team could definitely tell her that she was perfect for the role. And actually, I think there was a week when Josie was not there at the internship. And, we kind of did work, but it's kind of just it was kind of rough to take the next step. We didn't really know what we were doing. We were kind of just doing busy work and not really focused on the task ahead because, Josie was really the lifeblood of that project where she kind of just understood what the next step was, understood what a community needed. And that was a very important for us to learn as a team. But I think that also helped her understand that she definitely does have the space to lead. And it's kind of like the perfect environment for her to work in. But at the same time, like her leadership values were also very important. And she told me, especially, that some of the principles and values that she kind of guides her leadership style was kind of this sense of inclusivity and kind of being able to create a sense of confidence in others. It's kind of more of a you, not I mentality. And kind of just being able to understand that you're not working for yourself, but you're also working for other people at the same time and understanding who they are as people. And she also did a really good job of understanding that in order to kind of work well together, we kind of had to become friends first. And she did a really good job of doing that. Where the Valentine group, even though it's been 2 3 weeks after the internship ended, we're kind of in our own spaces, whether that's in Colorado or over in Hastings or at Creighton. We kind of all continue to talk to each other. We kind of share our daily activities, kind of like what we do with each other. And that was kind of important because it's more of like a long lasting sign. And I think it's also a very important part of leadership where you can make those decisions and make those connections with other people. But at the same time, speaking of decisions, there are a lot of tough decisions that you have to make, especially when you become a leader. And one thing she was saying was, you know, this summer she's actually, I think it's in 4 days, she's actually going to Scotland for her last year, kind of working abroad or being kind of like an international student over at Scotland. And she was telling me that was a very important decision, but she said that as the moment kind of gets closer, it can be hard to commit to something like that. But as I was talking to Josie, she told me that the most important part was to remember why she was doing it. It was a difficult decision to go in the first place, but in the end, she's not doing it just for her, but she's kind of an ambassador for Hastings College, and she's kind of putting on a show for Hastings in a way. She's kind of understanding what it means to be a Hastings student and what it means to be a leader, especially when you take that first step and you go international. You kind of understand that, if I can do it, what's stopping anyone else can? What's stopping anyone else from doing that? And she told me, quote for quote, sometimes you gotta say, "F it, we ball," and tighten up and lock in and get stuff done. And kind of that's what it really means to be a leader. It means to make a difference, make a stand, make people understand that you're here for a reason, and kind of just helping other people gain that confidence to also share that mentality. And one of these ways to do this, especially, is through communication. And she told me that communication was very crucial. And Valentine had a special way of communicating where we all kind of became friends before we were coworkers. So it's a lot easier to communicate with a friend than it is a coworker. But at the same time, she said that the leadership also came with a lot of positive outcomes. But when it comes to making a positive difference in a team or community, I mean, it's essentially our whole Valentine project. We were kind of able to step in and kind of help make Valentine a more influential place. Our project even got taken in for the Six Regions conference that'll be happening pretty soon towards Valentine. But Hastings College related, this is kind of like a role model over there. I mean, there was another student at the design studio named Sam, and Sam kind of took influence in Josie and kind of created his own major. Um, but at the same time, Josie had a couple pieces of advice for starting and aspiring leaders who are just starting to start out. But at the end of the day, it's okay to be scared. She told me that things are going to change. And if you stay the change, you won't be able to grow as a person. And that I can kind of take to heart, understanding that, this is the next step, especially as a freshman in college. If I just stayed the same as I was in high school and the time before that, I kind of wouldn't be the person I am today. So if I have to understand that, you know, it's a new experience. It's something new that I have to do. But if I just stay the same and I don't do the things that I'm supposed to be doing as a college student, that I won't be able to grow as a person. And she also kind of told me that self love goes a long way. Understanding that you are important, you matter, is something that she really preached during the internship. But she also just preached to people in general. I mean, being a leader like that and saying like you should be able to appreciate yourself, I think was one of the main reasons why we worked so well together during the internship. But at the end of the day, she told me that you can't really be afraid. Well, you can, but you just have to do it anyways. And that's something that I think will stay with me for a really long time, and especially that group. You know, at the end of the day, the Valentine group is definitely going to get it done one way or another. And I think Josie was definitely an influential part of that. She was able to take that next step for us and take a point to understand why we are who we are and who we are today.